What's happening, team, and welcome to this video. Now in this video we've got a kind of combination of things that I want to run over. So the first thing that I'm going to run over is how I got this transformation from, wait, what's my left and right? So from this to this, or is it opposite on the camera? Is it this to this? Whichever way, right? My before and after 8-week transformation without tracking calories. I'm going to basically tell you how I got there and how you can do the same sort of thing and why you don't necessarily need to track calories for this, right? But we'll get into that in a little minute. Now, following that as well, I just want to update you on something. I've basically injured my ankle and we're on this shred right now, and it's basically impacting me being able to train and get steps in. So I'm going to cover what to basically do if you get an injury as well that's basically affecting things, because no doubt if you are getting into training now, you're probably going to pick up an injury somewhere at some point, right? And a lot of people's mindset is when you get injured to just completely stop. But that isn't always the best idea. So I'm going to explain to you what to basically do with that as well. So let's just go get into this video. Now, if you don't know, I am Bradleywalkr. I'm a personal trainer from Glasgow. I don't know if I should go by Bradwalkr or Bradleywalkr. My Instagram handle is Bradleywalkr, but I kind of want to change it to Bradwalkr now because everybody calls me Brad. But anyway, I'm digressing. I do have that kind of fucking ADHD, scatterbrain sort of thing, right? I don't like to label myself with ADHD because I know that, but aye, my mum actually calls it this thing squirreling. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Up, but like the dogs will be like walking and then they'll be just chatting to the guy and then they go squirrel, and it's just something grabs their attention. That's what I get very often, right? So you'll notice I jump all over the place sometimes. So you're here because you've seen the title of this video and it says how to lose weight and tone up without tracking calories or something along the lines. Now, let me just quickly explain this. So first of all, as a coach, right, I don't necessarily think it's the best idea to get people tracking calories when they first start getting into the gym and trying to basically lose weight or tone up and build muscle, whatever it may be, right? I don't think them using myfitnesspal to start tracking their diet is the best thing. And the reason I don't think it's the best thing to do is because there's such a big margin for error that basically can massively impact the results. So for example, most people will pick up their phone and they'll scan, like, say, a pack of chicken breast, and they'll just hit OK, enter. But what they're not really actually doing is putting in the proper weight of the food. So it'll just be like 100 grams of chicken that comes up when you scan it, but maybe they've had like 300. So things like that you can mistrack. Things like an Uncle Ben's pack of rice, when you scan that, it comes up saying that it's only 200 calories for the packet, but it's actually 400 because the serving size is half and all this sort of stuff, right? So there's loads of wee mistakes that can basically happen with you tracking your diet when you basically first go and start, right? So what I personally prefer to do with my clients is give them a meal plan. And what this basically does is it eliminates all margins for error. All they need to do is literally follow that food step by step, and it makes it really fucking simple for them to go do. Just while I'm on this, I might as well plug this. I do have a trial offer for my Rip Reset where I can get you results in 14 days, where you do get a meal plan, training plan. You actually get a free personal training session as well if you're in Glasgow. And I guess I'll just, what to do is, just DM me on Instagram, just saying Rip Reset, and I'll get back to you and give you all the information you need, right? But basically, as I says, right, meal plan seems to be a bit better. Now, my solution to this isn't going to be that you're going to get a meal plan. Obviously, I'm offering one there if you want to go and get it. And there's a free version of this actually as well, just while I'm here. So basically, you can get the Health Hacking Meal Plan linked down below, and it's going to give you different meal ideas and a meal plan structure to go follow. So you can either come train with me or take away the free meal plan. Either one is going to go help you out right now because you need diet help. So, going back to this, right? So what do I mean by not tracking? Because basically a meal plan technically still is tracking your diet, but it eliminates you having to try and scan things or maybe eat something, bin the wrapper and you can't find it, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story of how I basically got in shape without tracking. Now, obviously, I've got years of experience from tracking my diet that I just know roughly how much calories are in foods. I know roughly how much protein I need, and I can look at a chicken breast and say, right, that's about 300 grams or whatever, right? So I can kind of mentally calculate it in my head. That being said, though, I haven't actually really been doing that, and the only thing I've actually been doing to go and tone up and again get the transformation that you've seen, which is pretty decent for 8 weeks since I've no tracked, is following good eating habits that I've built up over time. Now, these eating habits aren't very hard to go and implement. And again, with the kind of health hacking meals document down below, it's really fucking simple. But all you basically need to do, right, is with each meal that you're having, you prioritise getting in protein. So for your breakfast, this could be like your eggs. For your lunch, it could be something like chicken. And then maybe for your dinner, it's like steak or something like that, right? So you prioritise getting in the protein. And then from there, you just basically kind of be sensible with your kind of like carbohydrate intake. So, for example, you're not having like a big, huge plate of potatoes with your steak at night. You're maybe not having like lots of pasta with your chicken at lunch, and then at breakfast you're maybe patching, getting the fucking bread with your eggs, right? Instead of eggs and toast, it's just eggs. Really simple things to go do, right? There's nice, wee, easy eating habits that are going to basically allow you to not have to think about tracking, but just focus on starting to eat better. Because if you do prioritise protein at meals, make sure you're getting them fruit and vegetables, and just reduce your carbohydrates a wee bit, you're already got much better eating habits as it is, because your diet is most likely made up of a lot of carbohydrates and probably a lot of processed fatty foods. So for example, if your breakfast is like, say, cereal or toast in the morning, and then say your lunch is like sandwiches, and then say at dinner time you're maybe having like, I don't even know, man, like chips and turkey dinosaurs or some shit like that. It's a very carbohydrate based diet. So just by making these slight changes, you will see drastic changes, right? It's really fucking simple. If you follow me on Instagram as well, you hear all my clients speaking about how easy the meal plans and stuff like that are to follow, because it's already the foods that you're having, just with a healthy twist. So just to reiterate, go download the Health Hacking Meals. As I said, it's free. You're going to get a couple of emails from me telling you how to basically go and make the most of that, and then it's going to link you back to my YouTube, right? I don't want anything off you, just go do that. And then if you want to get a personal trainer, then you can know his stuff works, come to me, right? That is just a fucking plain up simple deal with it. So that's how we go and get you in shape without actually tracking your diet. Just start improving your eating habits. And then once you start to see plateaus with your weight loss or muscle gain, then you can maybe start thinking about tracking, and it's a skill you can kind of build up over time, which we do teach in my program as well. Now, that wasn't meant to be a big ass plug for my services, but it is what it is. I'm a personal trainer at the end of the day, right? So that's the section complete on how to go and get in shape without actually tracking your diet. Now, I want to go into something a bit more important, so let's go change where we're at for here. Now, I basically found this old footage from training with me and my boy Kyle. Honestly, absolutely fucking love this guy, man. What a legend. Just one of the best cunts I've actually met in the whole fitness scene, man. And this was our session up in Prolife in Paisley. Now, what you'll actually notice in here, right, is one, Kyle has got like the kind of like fucking bruises on, the circular bruises from cupping. And in this as well, I've actually got a shoulder injury, so I'm kind of trying to do exercises that basically don't aggravate my shoulder. I'm trying to keep my elbows relatively narrow. Looking back in this video, they'll know that narrow, but it is what it is, right? You'll see in this next wee clip, you can kind of see under Kyle's armpit, there's like a purple bruise on his kind of lat. And that's basically from his brother. His brother's a physio as well, right? And he does a lot of kind of cupping and stuff like that. But the kind of point I want to touch on with this, right, is when you get injured, what should you do about training? And basically, the long story short, right, is just because you're injured, it doesn't mean you stop training completely. You can also see here in this clip, by the way, if you look at my left shoulder, I've got a kind of bruise, and that's from cupping as well. And basically, right, working through your injuries and making adaptations to your training is going to allow you to keep progressing, but without aggravating your injury. Now, this doesn't mean that you go and you just start pushing through heavy movements trying to push through the pain, because all this is going to do is, if you actually get injured, you're going to just further aggravate the injury, and this is going to lead to more time off later down the line, right? So sometimes it's worthwhile maybe taking like a day or two to recover, getting some work or treatments done, and then just adapting your training to go and suit. Because especially if you are new to the gym, what's going to basically happen is if you take time off, you're going to lose out on progress, and you're potentially going to kind of give yourself another hurdle of getting back into it to go and get started. Everybody knows getting back into the gym is the hardest part about it, but actually just kind of being in that routine is much, much easier. So basically, the whole kind of point of this is, if you do get injured, you don't completely just avoid training, you make adaptations to your training to go and suit, so you can still keep progressing through this. But that is all for this. If you want to check out Kyle, by the way, on Instagram, his Instagram's going to be linked below in the bio. In the description. And other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this video, troops. Peace out, have a belter.